Hi, Living It Out writers, and welcome to Crazy in Love. It's so nice to have each of you, and I'm sorry this video is coming separately from the outline. I just wanted to make sure and get the outline rolling and then get this to you. So keep in mind that we are coming off of well-being. So this Crazy in Love series is really digging into relationships, with this very first one focusing on the single part of I guess, of our relationships, because all of us have been single at one time or another. And so you'll notice through the outline that that theme carries all the way through. So then week 2 and 3 pick up on relationships that are either marriage or in general. So this is our singles week. And what I'd really like you to do is pay attention to the verses. We are driving pretty close to each other again on this particular Living It Out. So if you are wondering where you need to end up, let it be the lesson or principle in the verses. So the big point can guide you, but really pay attention to those verses and what is it that we want people to be able to practice. You can pick up from well-being sort of the idea of what do we want to know, what do we want to then practice, where do we need to endure, and then how does that lead to transformation. That can be one thing to keep in mind. And then the other thing is that I've included definitely some blog posts and some things to kind of tap into for additional content and filling out those intros. Remember, we are keeping those introductions at 250 to 300 words. And really for the live section, if you can go with 2 questions, that I have found, I think, is really our sweet spot on that. So you'll notice in the outline, the sermon notes are there. Can you tell I'm scrolling and holding my phone and not doing a very good job of it? So the sermon notes are there to give you an overview, and then I will take Monday. And I know KT, I think, just came along, or Carrie came along and just took Friday. And so one of the things I just want to go through real quick here is a couple things on each of the days. On Tuesday, it's really focusing on partnership. So what are we looking for? I think the good news here is that even though this is geared towards singles, anytime there's a discussion about the foundations of relationships, that applies to marrieds or not. In fact, sometimes it's easier for married couples to really step into some of the lessons for singles than it is vice versa. And so just be aware of that and enjoy that part of it. So you don't have to feel like you're just writing to single people picking up the Living It Out, because honestly, that's not going to be the deal. And so Tuesday focuses on the partnership side of what we're looking for in mates, and that particular element. Then on Wednesday is about values. So each day is unpacking a piece of what someone who is single would be looking for. So Tuesday, partnership. Wednesday is about values. And then Thursday is about intimacy or unity that leads to intimacy. And then Friday is really about that transformation piece. So all of this sort of builds into Friday. That's titled You Single, Is You Married? And so that's where, when you're looking for partnership, when you're looking for the same values, when you're looking for unity, but then when you come into putting those all together, the reality is that those things should be changing us anyways, whether we're searching for marriage or not. And so again, you're going to notice that some of these sit pretty close together. So really let the verses drive you here. And I would really recommend on the Believe It section, like, just sit on those verses for a little bit. Let them sink in. What's really the lesson here? And then put it back out that same way. So the question that I'm asking, whatever I answer it as, I should be able to say, if the answer is, let's say the answer for partnership is really about being able to be a partner with my husband or with my wife and not bringing anything additional to the table, then that answer, in other words, that I'm bringing my whole self to them in full partnership, then I need to be able to say full partnership is the lesson for me today. I hope that makes sense. That was a quick example, and so let me know if you need anything else on that side of things. I think this is long enough on the video side, and we're going to be pretty complimentary to Ben this week. He's actually at a conference, and so there's a lot of this that we are going to just be not driving quite as close to him, but at the same time we've still got our own lanes here that are actually pretty close together because of the way that this lines up. So pay attention to your verses, 250 to 300 words on those intros. Make sure that believe it is a question that you can answer by saying, this is the lesson for me. All right, let me know if you need anything, and our best for His glory. Thank you so much for serving, and I'll see you soon.